Welcome. And good to see everybody. May the fourth be with you all. Good to see each and every one of you guys tonight. We're going to get right into it. We got some wrestling to talk about. We got a nice little fun game for some of you Star Wars fans out there. And if you're not, hey, you're not. But we're going to talk some wrestling. We got Wally in the building. There he is. What's up, my friend? Aaron West made his LTD wrestling debut last week. There he is. Hot Wheels in the building. Great to see you. Lady Devil in the building. Good to see you. Welcome in. Pill It Up Pose. There's my man, Pete. Good to see you. Great show earlier today, Pete. Always rocking it. Good to see each and every one of you guys and gals, all you dudes and dolls out there. We're going to celebrate. I was going to do a whole Star Wars background and everything, but screw that. We'll get to the game later. We got a pay-per-view to preview, and we have a pretty damn good show, in my opinion, to talk about from last night. There's Kelly. Yeah, happy May the 4th. So I know it's Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, too, but isn't that Revenge of the 5th also? Okay. We got a special guest here today. Let's bring in the one, the only, Yoda!
Bold people I dig. You, I will settle. Hand jobs I give. CJ will first.
Hey, what's up?
It's Doc. I thought it was real. Good to see you, Doc. Let's bring on someone who doesn't give two shits about Star Wars. My boy CJ.
I'll take hand jobs.
Did I pop you? Did I pop you a little?
Yes. Me too. I was expecting the Yoda hand job.
Yeah. So
Andy, I give. CJ.
I'm more of a Cinco de Mayo guy, but not anymore.
You're a Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little tacos.
Oh, Andy's in Japan. Took a little
Or
trip from New Zealand.
but not for me.
Safe travels there, Andy Price in Japan.
Oh, man.
Now. Good to see you. He's from New Zealand. He went up to Japan, so have fun, brother.
Safe travels, Mr. Andy.
Yes. So,
you know what rhymes with Andy?
What's that?
Handy.
Handy.
Of course I will do.
Yeah, may my farts be with you. Let's get right into it.
Let's get
one. I was gonna have a bunch of little videos to play. I know CJ loves when I have all kinds of little videos to play. I was gonna do some Star Wars videos, but I gotta do one. I got to do this.
I'm at a black and white gala. So, no, I am not watching.
Please stay, CJ. Please stay, CJ. Please stay, CJ. Please stay, CJ.
I love you guys. We'll be right back with our 2 cents about WWE Backlash. The reaction itself was gold, CJ. Thank you.
You mean him burying his face in his hands like one of those upset fathers whose kids fall on the prom stage during Grand Royale? No. Grand March? Yeah.
I mean, I'm the fucking Ms. Girl or whatever. You remember that photo from back in the day?
Yeah.
The fucking, yeah.
She actually won a Slammy.
Yeah, she did. She
I'd
did.
Slammy. All right. The draft. The draft was last week. We're not going to get into detail of the draft. The only thing I want to touch base on, 18 call-ups, man.
That's great.
I know what your favorite one is.
I have her hidden all the way at the bottom.
Oh, no, she's not hidden.
Stinky fart smell?
She is very much alive.
And
Miss
she's very much
Indy
deserves
Hartwell.
it.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I think it kind of sucks they had to take the title off of her. And once again, we got all 4 in the women's tag title match in this. So here's the rumor I'm hearing that whoever wins that match is going to take it, and it's going to become either the SmackDown women's tag, and they're going to have 2 different women's tags. What do you guys think of that?
I think that's stupid.
It's very stupid.
I know, isn't it? I hope
They should. They should, take them. I mean, you have Shawn Michaels be the bad guy, come on SmackDown and say, listen, ladies, you held it great, but there will be a tournament on NXT. Give me those belts back.
I mean, it did tournament for Indy. Why not a tournament for the tag?
Exactly.
So some of these guys got drafted, and some of them are like free agents, like Von Wagner's are free agents. So I don't know how they're
Zion Quid.
So like my question was, did it seem to you guys like the draft they were like making shit up as they went?
I don't think.
I mean, I know they weren't, but it kind of felt that way because I was like, where's free agent come from?
But did you guys notice something during the NXT commercial? They gave away the Grayson Waller thing before it was even on Peacock. They had drafted the Raw, and they said they did put the wrong image up, but they had Grayson Waller like laughing or something. Was a scene, and as I said, already drafted the Raw, so we already knew that Grayson Waller was getting drafted one way or another. It was with Apollo Crews. If you watched the commercial, was a little bit early. They kind of jumped the gun on Waller.
Chuck is my kind of guy.
Big Chuck,
yeah.
Let me be real. She's not my favorite, but I do respect for her as a worker. I do, and I think she deserved to call up. She's been there.
I think she's gotten so much better.
Yes.
Is there any on this list that you argue with? I don't. I think they're all worth.
I am a little worried about them bringing up Katana Chance and Caden Carter.
I'm not.
The only reason I say that is the simple fact is like they brought up a lot of ladies, and that's awesome and all. But like, didn't you think do you think like with the split up with Damage Control going to SmackDown, do you think they did that so Isla Dawn and Alba Fire have somebody to start a feud
please
with?
don't pull a Michael Cole. It's not Isla Dawn. It's Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn. Okay, my apologies on that. My apologies on that. That's why I kept hearing him say it, so that's why I went with it.
He fucked it up and then corrected himself.
This is why Joey Styles needs to return to TV.
Yeah.
The 2 on this list that I don't want to say I don't care for, but you said worry would be Von Wagner and Zion Quinn. And my favorite one on this list is Zoe Stark.
Yeah. So you think we get the way back again now that Indy's coming up?
Wow.
I want to see like a little index action, brother.
I think we will get that based on how she ended.
I just got a text message from Jason from that wrestling podcast. He said that to quote him, Katana and Caden are whack, and Becky's kid is bigger than both of them.
Oh my God!
I was like, "Geesh."
But I'll tell you what, though.
I think Caden Carter's a good looking woman.
Katana is fucking phenomenal. She was on American Ninja Warrior. The chick is
well, do you remember the Royal Rumble when she was Casey Cesaro and she did all those crazy?
She climbed the pole.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. She was basically like the female Kofi. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them either, but I really love Alba and. How do you say it again? Isla Dawn. Okay. Yeah. I think Isla Dawn is just eye candy. Oh my gosh, she's
top beautiful. 2. I think are bona fide stars. I think Grayson and Cameron Grimes are bona fide stars. Maybe JD McDonough too, because he's pretty damn good too.
Grayson Waller is just gonna steal the show.
Chuck, they buried his call up.
Whose?
Grayson. They didn't even have it on the show. That should be big news.
Because you want people to tune into Peacock. You want people to say,
I
well,
want
I
to
saw
hear
it.
what he has to say about it.
Who?
Grayson, I want to hear what he has to say on how he feels slighted that
That's
it
a
was
good point. I'm down
And
when
then
he plays off of it.
easy
Yeah.
storytelling.
I'm good with that, CJ.
Do you know who they should team him up with? L.A. Knight.
Oh my
They need to
God.
put
I
both
don't
those
think
together.
they should team him up with anybody. I think
No, you don't think that'd be a good little
I think
click?
he's good enough on his own.
Got
I mean, yeah,
the
but
shoe
still, I think
gimmick. He's got a lot going for him. I think he's really. I think he
Yeah,
can really do
man.
some damage. Cameron Grimes too. He's entertaining as fuck. In my
And
opinion.
he's jacked as fuck.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
Cameron Grimes is
Yeah.
jacked as fuck.
So I really like this. And now what else I like is you're going to see new faces in NXT start to come up now because they're going to have gaps to fill too. So I think the draft was pretty damn good.
You know who's my sleeper out of this? You're not gonna
Zoe
believe.
Stark.
No, she's not a sleeper. She's a fucking
She's a beast.
star.
I like her a lot. LaShawna.
Odyssey Jones.
Another
right.
very entertaining one. Definitely can get crowd hype. I like him too. We haven't seen that much. Did he get hurt or something in NXT?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, and then he came back because he wasn't around like consistently for a long time.
Yeah. But
All right.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see.
Me
And
too.
hey, guess what? Veer's coming again.
He's coming all
I
over the
can't
place.
fucking wait.
I like him with I like the group of three. I like those three together.
I
Industry
do
together.
too. I do
I
too.
think that's a there he is, Lenny Wrestling.
Hola.
Good to see you, my friend. He saw me popping around chats as WrestleSense. I was like, it's me. I do show up in chats and pretend I'm you, Doc, as WrestleSense.
Okay.
I got a Monstar stream.
Blase McCoy.
Yeah.
Blase
If I
McCoy.
join Maximum Male Models, So Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, I've heard rumors about them teaming them two up with some different individuals too. It'll be interesting to see where all these people lie. So there you have it. 18. I think that might be the most ever call-ups during a draft. I don't know. I didn't really look that far.
Yeah,
into it.
and if what I'm listening to on, I believe it was Fightful, is correct, that they will be starting to hire some more people soon.
Sweet. They got them twin
Might
girls.
just be recruits for like NXT or whatever, but yeah.
I'm waiting to see them twins from Miami Hurricanes basketball players. The twins. They're in the
I
NIL.
forget their names. Yeah. They got an NIL deal.
They're getting jacked too, and they're smoking. So I think that'll be they don't need the Bellas. They got a new set of twins coming up. They know.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to love a good set of twins, right?
I mean,
Speaking of twins, now let's get into the picks. We're going to talk about Backlash. It hasn't been. There's only 7 matches, I believe. So there was rumors that these two want to headline the show because
thanks,
it's in Puerto
Jason.
Rico.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
There he is. Good to see you. That wrestling podcast, Jason in the building. Big shout out to that.
I
Wrestling
think they
podcast.
should main event.
If they got like a good angle to end the show, well let's do picks because that makes a difference too. CJ, who's winning?
On this,
Yeah.
Bad Bunny.
I agree. I don't hate to say it, but I don't think it hurts Damian to lose. What about you, Doc?
I'm gonna go Bad Bunny too. As much as I want to say Damian Priest, it's
I
gonna be Bad
know.
Bunny. But the thing is, I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna have the Judgment Day come out, then you're gonna have the LWO, and then it's kind of like Ray putting in one more fuck you to the Judgment Day. So this could be that nail in the coffin. Ray needs to move on, which I doubt.
Okay.
I
Fair
still
enough.
see Dominic chasing him all around, but it's
I want to see something more out of Bad Bunny. I mean, everyone's praising him for doing that driver to, and all that stuff. I want to see him do more, do something different, entertain me.
he has more time to train now too. So think
Yeah.
about that. He's put a lot into this. They say he really is dedicated to this.
He's on record as saying, even though he's like a mega fucking music superstar, the funnest thing in his career has been the stuff he's done with WWE. So
I don't question the business aspect of that at all. I mean, you got the highest selling record artist in the world right now, and you got Logan Paul, one of the most popular. I don't like either one of them personally, but for business wise, they're great.
And I mean, I used to DJ, and I'm going to be honest, I've never knew who Bad Bunny was until the WWE. I've heard the name. I can't say I've heard one of his songs ever.
But you
Big
could
shout
say
out to
WWE
LL.
propelled him into,
That's my man.
Hey, if you guys can hit the thumbs up, I really appreciate it. We're sitting at 192 subscribers. I'd love to hit that 200 soon. So if you guys know anybody else that enjoys people making fools of themselves and having fun, I'll make the fool of myself.
You
These
get
guys
it to 200. Blase said he'll give a handy from the
I'll
side.
I'll have a nipple reveal.
Turkey, he will.
Big shout out to Atticus
Use the
and
force.
Chuck as well. So we got a lot of people picking Bad Bunny to win, and I think the story fits in Puerto Rico. He'll get a big pop to get.
I know what fits in his hands.
Oh.
My inchworm, maybe. My inchworm.
Bianca and Io Sky, I see this as furthering the split of damage control somehow, but I don't see Bianca losing, so I'm going Bianca. Doc?
First of all, thank you, Chad, for subscribing. Second of all,
Hey, Chad.
I'm going to pick Bianca. I still think, I don't think they're going to put the belt on Io.
Chad's a local guy,
As much
too,
as I
man.
want to.
Chad's a Pittsburgh guy, too. Good to see you. Next time my card show comes around at Washington Crown Center, I want to meet you, bro. Let's hook up. CJ. Same?
What I want to happen is Io, but what's going to happen is Bianca.
Maybe Io wins by disqualification or something. Something happens where damage control tries to help him win, but ends up, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way that Io
Me
can
and Chuck agree on a lot of stuff, except for him saying Jinder Mahal is junk. I think Jinder's good, man. I think
Hard
Jinder's
body
good.
Mahal.
Yeah, that's another one
Thanks,
that got
Wheels.
super jacked. I can never get tired of Bianca. I don't know why. I like that athlete. She came from basketball and track and shit like that. I dig it. I think she's come a long way, and she's one of the best out there as far as the women go, in my opinion.
Pillar to post. What's he saying? Stop
Pete.
using the channel for
Oh,
hookups.
come on, Pete. Shush. Who
Yeesh.
am I hooking up with? That's Monstar and Doc hooking up all the time.
Oh, dang. Why you always got this Monstar?
I've been busting his balls for 6 years. I ain't gonna stop now. Doc, triple threat. I'm
going out on a limb here. I want the Bronson Reed
Not
to win
gonna
this, and
happen.
I know it's not. I know it's not, but I'm
Okay.
picking him. I'm picking
All right.
him because I want to get the.
Okay. CJ?
Austin Theory. Because with Roman, and I can't take full credit for this, with Roman not ever really being on SmackDown, Austin Theory is going to be the main male champion star of SmackDown.
I'm there with you. I'm the same. Bobby's already had it. Bronson. I mean, these are two tough opponents for him. This will really build Austin up if Austin Theory can, get a good handily win over either one of these. I don't even know who would get, because they're going to do triple threat would be just one fall. I don't know. I mean, Bronson, you got to make him look strong, though. I think you got to make him look like a beast
Oh,
in
for
this.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, hopefully push him
Well, wait.
a little further.
Before I might change this because wait, does Walter have a match?
No,
Or excuse me, pardon me, Gunther. Does Gunther have a match?
no.
Then I'm taking Theory.
Okay.
There's a because they're gonna want to keep both titles separate. They're gonna want to keep the US on one and the IC on another. So.
And I'm with CJ 100% on the fact
Yeah.
that if you're not going to have Roman around, they've been building the IC and US titles very well, in my opinion.
Roman's not supposed to be at Backlash. Roman's not going to be in Saudi Arabia.
He'll be at
Roman's
SummerSlam, I
not
think.
going to be, yeah.
He'll be at
So-
but next time he fights might be SummerSlam.
I mean, good for him for getting the deal that he has.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not a reputable champion as far as
Agreed.
defending the title goes. I would never discredit his talent and his storytelling and just his star power. But to me, that's why I don't feel like he should be the champion.
He earns his
sorry.
spot, definitely, but it does take away from the product. I'm old school. Remember the days of 30 days you defend the title or you lose it?
Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, not that it has to be that extreme, but those are the days I miss when you got to defend your title every 30 days or so. Is anybody picking Omos in this one?
No.
No.
This is the one where everyone's really questioning why they didn't put these two together, because they haven't had much story behind it. I think Omos does something to be impressive, though. He has to be able to do something to impress.
Well, just Seth Rollins hitting the stomp on Omos, I think, is impressive.
Yeah. He'll probably do it from like the second rope too. They'll try to make it real epic. Like, oh, he did it from the side. He had to use the second rope to do it. I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Yoda?
I think it's a must.
Seth, he needs a win. I think he's going to get pushed towards that world championship in that tournament. So a win.
I don't think he's going to get pushed towards it. I think he's going to win it.
I think he should too.
I think it's going to be him and Brock in the finals.
Now, how did they even say if it's a 4-man, 8-man tournament, or if they're just going to throw three?
I don't think they
really
have
said anything.
It's like I think it's a big boot. Never mind. I was going to joke around. Say something. No, I'm not going there.
I mean, it is kind of they gave no story behind it, so I'm hoping something happens to maybe create a story from this.
I think, if they're going to go for this championship real quick, I really think it's going to be Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in the end, and I think Seth Rollins beats him.
I do too. I mean, you got to have the Cody continues to lose, and we'll get to that coming up soon, and he's got to continue to fight back and overcome. The ladies,
we like come.
I love Zelina a lot, but once again, just like the Bianca thing, I see no way that Rhea's going to lose.
It's already out there that it's not, because Zelina's going to be on SmackDown and Rhea's going to be on Raw.
And this is just going to build the LWO and Judgment Day thing, I think.
And you got to look at it like this too. I mean, just the simple fact is that crowd is going to be hot for Zelina, just like Canada was hot for Sammy.
Yeah.
So why not get at the end, like make her almost beat her, give her that push, because Zelina really doesn't need to win this match to go over.
Not at all. That LWO is one of the best selling T-shirts right now. I mean, it's gold.
Yes,
yeah.
They're in Puerto Rico. They'll probably sell a gazillion of them down there.
I think this is one of the first times Zelina's family will see her wrestle live, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
She's a lot better than they give her credit to. I think
she's phenomenal.
A lot more big time. She was the queen.
She's easy on the eyes. So you're never going to get a complaint.
And she's married to one of the best wrestlers ever.
Best ever. He's up there. But...
He's one of the best of today. I mean, in today's world.
Okay, you got to have the look and the ability, and she does have it all. So I'd like to see her, beat down Rhea a little bit, show that she can compete with her, but in the end lose.
Which, I mean, she has all those high flyer moves, and Rhea could catch her, do the and do those.
Rhea's a good base.
Yeah, and Rhea's done it before. I mean, look at how she did with Charlotte.
Yep. Now here. I'm picking Brock to win. I'm picking Brock because we're going to continue these.
I'm doing it for my boy. I'm voting for Cody.
Okay.
Yeah. The most sense to me is Brock.
Why?
Because
the same reason that I have.
Because if you're really doing the hard times story, Cody needs to go back to rock bottom and work his way up. And again, I hate stealing from other people, but here's what needs to happen. Brock needs to beat Cody. Cody needs to win Money in the Bank. Cody needs to cash in on Roman, but not some shenanigan bullshit. Say you're cashing in before for a singles match, a clean fucking pinfall to make up for WrestleMania, and there's the fucking end of the fucking hard time story.
I love it because I was thinking that the other day too. We had arguably one of the worst cash-ins with Austin last year. I think we have one of the best cash-ins ever when Cody finally does it, and I'm right there with you, CJ. Doc, what do you think about that storyline? Finally doing it through the briefcase.
See, I like it. I really think that if they do a Money in the Bank, I know I don't know what episode it's going to be on. It's going to be a Raw, but it's going to be on Madison Square Garden. Man, if I'm putting a strap on Cody from Romy, if I'm putting a strap on Cody, it would be.
Oh, you put a strap on it.
Fuck.
Icy.
But you guys know what I mean. I mean, his dad won. I mean, it would just be that Rhodes tradition of winning in Madison Square Garden. I think that's something that could happen.
I mean, there are a handful of people, which we talked about it, him starting the hard time story by losing at WrestleMania. And there's still a couple people that I've seen on podcasts and stuff hell bent on That was the wrong move. Cody should have won then.
I don't. The more I look at it now, I don't think it was the wrong move.
That's what I'm saying. I think I like the story of him fighting back.
And people want to be pissed off about it, but like Cody didn't come back without having some say in his own long time storytelling. And Cody, I'm sure, not that he would be a diva about it, but he's okay with what's going on. I promise you that.
And when he came back, all he did was win. He beat Seth. It was like he didn't have any hard time. Anthony Fiore's in the building. Good to see you.
Riley, I really hope you
Seth Rick.
I hope you're right, buddy. I hope you're right, Riley.
Seth Rick.
We got Seth Rollins.
Seth Rick's a Chicago native. He likes Amazon females. So, I mean, he got that going for him.
Is that who I think it is?
Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Tony.
That's the man right there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He is a pioneer of the video sorts.
Right. I don't know how these matches are going to be. We could very well get Bad Bunny in the main event, but I put this one last because of all the storylines, because of the bloodline stuff going on, which I still think is doing really well. The only issue, I'm not really an issue, but last year, AEW had a lot of shows that ended in schmozzes, just a bunch of brawls and shit, and people were shitting all over them for that. They do it here in WWE, and it's okay, because the last couple of shows, it's been schmoz. I love them. That's old WCW shit for me. I don't mind them at all. Brawls at the end of the show just to leave you with a cliffhanger. But going into this match, CJ, you're first. What do you think?
I'm going to say Riddle, KO, and Sammy. But I feel like you're going to start to see more dissension within the bloodline. And I don't know if it's going to be Jay leaving or Jay and Jimmy leaving or like Solo turning on the Usos. Yeah. But there's going to be some sort of shenanigans.
They're definitely teasing that shit. What about you, Doc?
I'm going to go, I think Riddle, Owens, and Zayn, and I think this is where Solo has his night that he was supposed to have. And I really, I love the way they did that in SmackDown because you didn't know who he was coming out to. Was he coming out to ruin the tag team championships for Zayn?
You don't know because Riddle cut him off at the pass.
Exactly. That's great story writing to me.
I dig it. Now, the other thing I heard is that a certain man named of Tama Tonga is now fighting in New Japan without a contract. And WWE is really interested in trying to possibly bring him in. And maybe with the bloodline. Who knows? There have been all these talks about possible exits to the bloodline. But I do, like CJ said, I love how they're continuing the little dissension possibility with the bloodline. That's
little breadcrumbs.
Different than, them just being a solid unit ruling the show all the time. But that's Backlash, 7 matches. Who did you pick, Doc, on that one? You picked bloodline.
Riddle, yeah. I picked Riddle, Zayn, and Owens.
Okay.
I think this is where Solo strikes.
So the only different pick that we had was Doc picking Cody. All of our other picks are the same.
Well, we'll see what happens.
What do you got going on over there, bud?
Me, I it's weird. My allergies are up. So every couple hours, I get these coughing fits. I apologize,
guys. With who's Joe Balls?
And I just read the words Joe Balls, and just memories came back. Him and his New York Islanders shit. Oh God, man.
Joey Balls with his Miley Cyrus T-shirt.
Oh my God, Joe Balls was the man.
I don't know about
Tom Cox. Coming, guys. We got 2 more segments to go. We're going to talk about Dynamite last night, and we're going to talk a little game show here. We'll be right back. Try to make some sense of.
Oh, shit.
All right, keep it moving, as they like to say. Backlash. We'll see how that turns out to be. Pre-sale for AEW London today has hit 50,000 today. Tony,
yeah.
Okay.
It was 43 yesterday. It's now over 50,000. 50,000. Now listen, here's what I compare
50,000 from the side.
WCW's biggest show
dark
ever
side.
was 42,000. 42,000 is the most WCW ever done. Now they didn't do a bunch of stadium shows, but WCW was open for a good bit of time, and they've never
I gotta
done
take this call, guys. I'll be right back.
So we got All In, which has already exceeded that, and the regular sale starts tomorrow. It's only the pre-sale at 50.
So the pre-sale, so they already have 50 seats are already bought and paid for. So now they get to go on this all. I'm excited. I am very excited about this.
Fans are.
What if, Bischoff said he wasn't going to be able to do it. That's that. I'd love to see Eric Bischoff eat his fucking words. So it's going to be,
they couldn't do it.
It's going to be really awesome. So
where do you think they end up? I mean, when you got regular sale, now granted, it's a 90,000 seat arena, but they're going to have to black out a lot of seats for hard cam area and stuff in the stage. So if they get, even if they get over 60, I think that's a huge success. It's already a huge success, and we don't even have a match.
No, it's going to be so awesome to see this.
So I'm pumped about it. I mean, and the rumors I'm hearing now is, if they end up doing HBO Max or something, you might get both of these shows because All Out's the next week.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So,
sorry about that, guys. I'm on call for work. So
okay. So I heard rumors that they might tie it together. You may be a streaming service by then, because I really don't think they want to try to charge $50 and then the next week another $50 to their fans.
No, I see that. Or could they make All Out that Wednesday for that Dynamite? You know what I mean?
That would be another way to do it. Yeah. Or Saturday. Collision will already be
wow.
started.
That's my 12-year wedding anniversary.
I think sooner than later, all AEW stuff that's not on cable television is going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah, that's what I just said before you came back.
You?
I heard
Okay.
that rumor too. And the end of Dark and Elevation, they are done. They are done with Dark and Elevation. So,
and that's a shame because a lot of good indie workers get work through that. I feel really bad for them.
It's okay. Here's that question came up on Fightful last night, and they said, "Well, Dark and Elevations where all these indie players, started, getting their chance. Rumor has it they're going to do that on ROH.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
you're still going to have the indie guys wherever they're at get a shot. They can't give that up, man. That's a gem, according to me. So we'll see. I mean, I thought maybe they'd keep one, but here's the thing too: if they're going to that streaming service, they can't be on. They're not going to have that YouTube show no more. So they're going to have everything in one spot, and we'll eventually have a Peacock for all of AEW's content. And I'm down for that. I'll sign up for it. If they say HBO Max is all in and all out together for the, what is it, $20 a month or something for Max? I'm
I think it's $19.99, but I get it for free because I have Cricket Wireless.
Oh, nice.
I would be a new subscriber.
Yeah.
I'd be right on it. I dropped the 10 from ROH, obviously, and go right to the $20 for it all. I mean, it's a win-win situation. This is a big deal. I mean, it's going to get the AEW name out there for a lot more people, in my opinion. And UK is hungry for a show, obviously. Last night's show, was this segment gold or what?
It was hilarious.
I liked it.
I think they come back. I hope they do more segments like this. I remember a few, not a lot, because I know the Briscoes used to do a lot on the farm type of segments and shit like that. I hope they bring back more of them. This was hilarious to me, from start to finish. Even Papa Briscoe coming on there.
Yeah, that was pretty.
And you know what else? I'll also not take credit. I watched Fightful last night too, and someone even said, I think in a super chat or something, they said, please keep the overalls on those two when they fight, at least for a little while.
Oh yeah,
I think that would be hilarious.
Nobody doesn't like Hillbilly Jim or Uncle Elmer.
No, but it's such a throwback to those type of guys.
It is. Yeah,
why not wear if they're going to be a tag team? That would be pretty damn funny for them to come out in that. And I like how Briscoe's kind of catching on. They were like, you guys beat FTR or fought. You got any hints for us? And he's like, oh, that's what this is all about. So we're going to, test that dynamic too. Briscoe acts like a dummy, but he ain't no dummy. Last night's show, I was highly entertained. I liked it from start to finish. I think the Battle Royal was fun because I didn't know who was going to win it. But did they even say you get a title shot for winning that or no?
I thought they did.
I don't know, but I think it's going to have whoever it was, the Acclaimed. I think it's going to have to do something with the House of Black, that new challenge or whatever they got going on. house rules or whatever it is.
Where you get to pick a stipulation to try to counter theirs. I kind of like that shit. House of Black. I mean, there are tons of great teams in this company, and it's about time they start using them. Anything else, Doc, that stuck out from last night?
I just love the fact that they finally ended the MJF Sammy Guevara. I kind of saw that comment, but I really thought this match was going to go down, but there wasn't going to be no wrestling. I thought Sammy's going to walk in the ring, look at MJF, give him the finger, lay down, and just let one of them fit him and be like, all right, now you're in a match. But I like the way they did it. And at the end, like, Sammy looked at both of them and went, all right, let's do this. Like, I thought that was kind of cool too. So, I mean, I'm really digging the storytelling with that. I'm digging the storytelling with Luchasaurus and Wardlow. I love the fact that, like, the little bit of a swerve there that Christian Cage wants to go for the TNT title.
But then should build eventually to Luchasaurus versus him as well. I would think. I'm a big Willow fan, and I'm a big Sheeta fan. Sheeta got me for like 2 seconds when she hugged that. I was like, oh, she's going with them, and then the double swerve was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I did like how they did that. That was awesome. We haven't seen a double swerve in a long time like that.
And they did it quick. It wasn't like wait for it or wait weeks. It was a couple minutes later, boom. I was like, she's going to turn. It was very good. I was starting to put 2 and 2 together. Why would she be with the Outcasts?
Yeah.
Nugget. Anything else? Let's see. I
mean,
watched.
it was okay.
Every week
I wouldn't say it was my favorite Dynamite of all time, but it was like, if I were to grade it, I'd give it like a solid B.
I also liked All Access afterwards. If you guys watched any of that,
Yeah, it was fun.
Very good stuff. I mean, it teases kayfabe, like it keeps some of the stuff, but it does give you a little bit of behind the scenes.
I mean, I feel like some of the stuff, it peels back the curtain a little bit too much.
They're flirting with it. I'm with you, CJ. They got to watch. They got to watch, but they're doing it, I think, good to this point where they're not really going too far, because like they're still staying kind of in character too. Is like with I really don't like Tay Mello. I don't like her at all. I'm like, okay.
I think a big one that bothered me is that they really need to show Danielson and Sammy talking to each other after that match. Did that really need to be on?
It's a lot. I see.
No,
they're trying to make, because there was someone complained, I heard, and I was like,
I'm not complaining. I love it.
Not you. Someone else said something that I know you guys won't agree with.
Okay.
But it's a TV show, so they're kind of keeping this. You've seen a lot of Sammy, and you're seeing a lot of Britt, and I'm not complaining. People are saying, oh, it's all about Britt Baker. No, it's a story. They're telling you each week.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. So I like the consistency, because that's a TV show. That's not a wrestling show.
Yeah.
But it is giving us some behind the scenes. So I'm down with it. What do you guys think about the Roderick Strong and Adam Cole situation?
I'm digging it. Let's see where it builds. Let's see. Do we see Kyle O'Reilly back? Do we see Bobby Fish come back? Do we see an Undisputed Era reunion?
I don't know. Is Danhausen injured? I haven't seen him either.
No,
I haven't seen him.
His arm was hurt.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett mowing alone was funny.
Yeah.
I hope they come back when they're like fishing on Friday or something with Briscoe and stuff like that. I'm down for that 110%. That's it. That's all. Oh no. You know what? I was looking at Sammy, and I'm thinking he reminds me of somebody. Just that picture there, and I was like, what does he remind me of? I couldn't place it. I was like, what is that? I mean, something reminded me, and then it hit me. It's an old meme. And
it's the kid with the shirt.
Are you gonna say it?
Yep, there it is. I knew it.
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, holy fuck, does that look like little Sammy?
Yep, I remember that. I remember that meme now. And as soon as you said that, I started looking at that picture. I was like, yes, he's gonna pull up the kid in the stadium like that. Wait, he's like this. He like raised his arm up and he started shaking.
See, that's another thing. Bobby Fish, he did kind of burn his bridge. But will they bring him back? Look! If you're going to burn a bridge, CM Punk did, and it looks like he's coming back.
Yeah, he burned a whole goddamn city. So I mean, that's all there's to it.
But we'll get a lot more into Collision and what they're going to do with those rosters, and now with No Dark and Elevation, how that's going to unfold. It's going to be fun. Speaking of fun, we're going into
the last segment, right?
Our final segment. Boy.
Okay, because you only got me for about 20 minutes, and I got to take care of some work stuff.
I got you. Let's have a little fun. So Star Wars has actually been a little bit part of wrestling back in the 80s. The Star Wars of wrestling was kind of like the 80s version of the Forbidden Door. And I remember it vaguely. Now, keep in mind, copyright rules were nothing like they are today, so they could use the name Star Wars and such all they want. So I did some digging to find some old school Star Wars / wrestling stuff to get us ready for this little game show we're going to play. So back in 1979, that's not too long after the first Star Wars was actually thrown out there. There were Star Wars droids, R2-D2 and C-3PO in All Japan Wrestling. Look at those outfits. So El Rebel Day was R2-D2, and nobody knows who C-3PO is. I think it was CJ Sensation. And they even had a Mexican wrestler named Darth Vader in the 80s too. So yeah, copyright wasn't as strong back then. But they were taking advantage of the fact that Star Wars was very popular at the end. Yeah, okay, bust my balls.
You know what's lame? The fact that you get
JJ
Jarvis next time we're in on TPW. That's what's lame.
So I do want to mention I had 2 shorts from our little encounter last week with Tad Jarvis and JJ Rumham. So I put out 2 shorts. So ammo for JJ. His has twice as many views as Tad's does. So shout out to you, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make him not want to kill me anymore.
It's too late for that.
I probably is.
I had to run from him and Hendricks. Like I don't even want to get into it. It was scary.
Big shout out to JJ, was a guest. If you guys missed last week's show, definitely check it out. It's worth the watch for the encounter between Tad and JJ. So this one, it looks like I'd say world class in NWA together with the Von Erichs and gentleman Chris Adams.
Yep.
Is he the first one to revolutionize the super kick? I believe. Is there any? He was Mr. Super Kick back in the 80s. I don't know anybody else that was doing it. Chat? Anybody?
Okay, you want to help me with that one?
Chris Adams.
Chris Adams was Mr. Super Kick back.
Yeah,
in the 80s.
I believe you're right.
I thought it was him and Kevin, or was Kevin more the?
I think it was Chris Adams, gentleman. Chris Adams.
Flair versus
about the Von Erich movie that's coming out.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Flair versus any Von Erich. I love those matches back in the day. I love when they did the world class shows and they were in a Texas stadium. They were outside for those. I loved it. So Savannah Jack.
I think the super kick answer, yes.
All right. We got some people to know a little bit. So Star Wars in 1984, wrestling style, Star Wars in 1985. My favorites of all time, the Road Warriors.
Rick Martel, before he was a model.
So I think Martel fought Flair because this is AWA versus NWA, and that's
there was a figure set out of that actually. AW. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. I take that back. It was AWA's champion at the time. It was Larry Zbyszko versus Ric Flair, and then they were able to put Ric Flair in.
You're talking about the Remcos. I have all those, except for
I have them upstairs. They're hidden.
I need Nick Bockwinkel.
I have Nick Bockwinkel. I have Abdullah. I have Crusher Blackwell.
The only one I don't have is Bockwinkel. I've looked at the list, and there's a second variation of someone else I don't have. But here we go.
I don't have the Russian.
African American wrestler in the '80s. Super kick was his finisher. Good shit, Chuck. Appreciate that. So Star Wars. Look at this one. This is Lucha style. Look at that R2-D2 and C-3PO. I don't know what the fuck's going on the left.
That looks like a panda.
It is. I think it went a little
Jesus.
further than Star Wars, but we had Lucha Panda there, and I don't know what the hell's going on the left either. But Star Wars has been part of wrestling for a while, and Hulk Hogan says, "Join the dark side, brother." That's my corny meme. Before we get into the fun stuff,
all right, let's get into the fun stuff.
It's like
gimmick your head over your nut.
Okay, go ahead.
As soon as we're done with this stream, I will be streaming LTD Star Wars. We have a Star Wars show where I have 12 people in costume, so you won't know who they are by how they're coming down.
Please tell me Wheels is R2-D2.
We do that every no. Oh, geez.
Oh,
That'd be
We do
good.
that every year, and I took first come first serve. We have 4 ladies and 8 guys in costume coming up later on. But we want you guys to compare wrestlers to Star Wars figures. And me and Doc and Monstar, Sean Shamrock, we compiled a list together, all 3 of us. I got a list from Sean.
I didn't know Monstar was in on this. Okay.
Well, I wanted the first thing that you and him got to work together on. So Monstar gave me a
that
list.
ain't the first thing they got to work together on.
Yeah, baby. It's a big.
Hey, I needed the money. Okay, go.
So here's 2 examples, and Doc will help explain these first 2 because he came up with the comparison for the first 2. Here's an example of what we're looking for, and then we have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones that you guys will help us pick who they were. So Palpatine.
Yes. The simple fact is, you definitely could compare Vince to Palpatine. If you think about it, there was many territories back in the day when it was Vince McMahon Sr. As soon as Vince McMahon Jr. takes over, what happens? An empire is built.
Yes.
Think about it.
Very comparable. So we have Vince McMahon as our Senator Palpatine, the evilest of the evil. I dig that. And I thought maybe if Palpatine had the pencil stash, it would make no.
Oh, that looks like a caterpillar. I'm just saying, it looks like a caterpillar.
Yeah, my copy and paste wasn't that great. So,
Oof.
So this one I have no clue, and I need Doc to explain this.
All
one.
right, go ahead.
How'd you come up with Tony Khan as Jabba the Hutt?
Simple. It's like this. Tony
The
Khan.
eyes?
No, it's not even
Okay.
it's not even the eyes. It's the simple fact is, if you look at it like this, Jabba the Hutt, number 1 was second, like, in power. If you really want to get technical, you had the dark side, you had the Vader, you had the evil empire, and then Jabba was kind of right below there. And there's people that worked for the empire that kind of left, and who hired them? Jabba did, as bounty hunters.
Okay.
And the simple fact is, Tatooine's always partying, and that Tony Khan, it's always a party with Tony Khan and them wrestlers. They've talked about the old parties. They talked about the different things. Yes, obviously there's no looks comparison whatsoever, but if you really want to get technical, AEW right now is kind of like the Tatooine, kind of like where everybody's kind of going, where like the hired guns are going. That's where I kind of got the Jabba and Tony comparison.
I didn't want to ask you yesterday when you gave me this, but or 2 days ago, but I wanted to wait for today for the explanation.
I think it was a pretty good explanation, right?
I dig it. Definitely.
If you piss them off, he feeds you to the Rancor, which is Aubrey Edwards. No, I'm joking. Just play.
So you guys in the chat, I want to hear your answers also. We're going to give you 5 or 6 options for each of these Star Wars figures to pick your wrestling comparison. All right. And if there's one not on the list or someone who you think shouldn't be on the list, you can tell me. So I'll start here with Boba Fett. I put Randy Orton in there. That was one of my picks because when he was the Legend Killer, he was basically a bounty hunter. So that was my connection with Orton in there. The other one that I put in was Sting, because his whole fight against NWO, it doesn't connect completely. But I just compared the first person I thought to when I think of wrestling's Boba Fett was Sting. I love the Kenny Omega one. Monstar also had Corbin as well. But Doc, you threw in the I like the Moxley one too. I think you had another one.
At Corbin, Moxley, Omega. Here's my. I even have
Scott Hall. You had Scott Hall in there too.
I did have Scott Hall. Scott Hall was just smooth. And one thing about Boba Fett was supposed to be just a side character that sold a couple action figures and no one really cared about. But if you look at it, both him and you look at Mox, you look at those guys, man, just smooth what they do. They know how to fight. They know how to get their way around things. I mean, Boba Fett got eaten by a monster and came back, for God's sakes.
Yep.
Swallowed alive. Speaking of that, getting eaten by a monster, that's where I kind of put Corbin into it, because everybody hated the way Boba Fett went out in the movies. He went out like a bitch. It's been a long running joke on Robot Chicken. It's been a long, running joke on a lot of places. It's just Boba Fett went out so bad in those movies. He was supposed to be just badass, and then, just a little bit of a malfunction wardrobe like Janet Jackson, and all the shitter he went right down to the Sarlacc pit. So if you look at Corbin right now. Corbin started off strong. He started off this lone wolf. He started off a badass, man. I loved him. And then boom, next thing you know, Happy Corbin. So he basically got swallowed by booking instead of Sarlacc.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Dunn.
I dig that one. But Doc, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick as your Boba Fett?
Oh shit.
I'm taking Orton,
Um,
even though Sting's my
you
man. I
know-
like Orton as the legend killer. Bounty
I'm
hunter.
gonna have to. I have to go with Moxley because Moxley went where he was highest paid. He could have went back to WWE, but no. Jabba the Hutt brought out that money, and there he went.
The Stone Cold comparison from Riley's good. Stone Cold broke his neck and came back most over.
Riley Wolf has a huge point there on that one.
That's
yeah.
a very good one. I dig that one. CJ's taking a poop, so we'll move on to the next one.
All right. Well, he's not really into Star Wars, so
Nah,
let him
it's okay.
poop in peace. Let him poop in peace.
We'll get his at the end of the day here. So
All
this one, it was a great idea. Big shout out to Doc for giving me the option of having a tag team in here. I didn't think of that, but once I did,
man.
The first thing that came into my mind was the Dudleys. But when I looked at the list, and I think when you go to Kevin and Sammy, either one could be Chewy. I think they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Street Profits too. But if I were to pick one,
Go ahead.
who exemplifies those two the most as buddies, because they were buddies, they were best friends no matter what.
Yep.
The heart broke when whenever Chewy was in trouble, you could tell Hans, he was heartbroken. It's the Outsiders. Kevin Nash is my Chewy, and Scott Hall is my Han. Anybody in the chat? And you go ahead, Doc. Break it down.
I'm gonna go with Rock and Mankind, just for the simple fact is you had the Rock who was smooth, who was just everything, and then you had Mankind, his big, hairy, angry man that could take a lot of pain and dish a lot of pain out. And if you think about it, that's how Chewy was, man. Chewy could rip somebody's arms off with one single pull. And Han Solo was always the talker. You always saw him wheeling and dealing in the cantina to make those shipments and everything like that, talking his way out of getting in trouble with Jabba. So, needless to say, I really feel that The Rock and Mankind, in my eyes, is the best example of a Han and Chewie, because also Han always bitched to Chewie about the stuff. And what we always see with The Rock and Mankind, I loved whenever he would try to go, "If you smell," and then you see The Rock go, "Hey, stop that." I would lose it. I would lose it every time. So
they're all great buddy stories.
These are all great.
Even Street Profits, definitely. And it's a good point here. Bubba is the Han, and Devon didn't talk that much. He basically had his one little saying, and Chewie, he would do that. There's a bunch of them. But yeah, all five of these I would agree could be Han and Chewie. So this is probably my favorite category.
Yeah.
Let's go to, I believe, Leia.
Yeah,
you
Leia
go
was
first
hard.
on this one, Doc.
Leia was really hard to do, actually, because you think about it, man. Leia was such a prestigious character in the Star Wars galaxy, man. I loved Leia. I mean, Return of the Jedi, man. That iron bikini. You know how many bottles of Perel with? Never mind. But where I'm going to go is as I'm looking at this, as I look at my list right here. I had Becky, I had Britt. We had Charlotte. Charlotte, of course, you could say she was the heir to the throne when it comes to Flair.
The royalty aspect.
So that's Charlotte Flair right there. Becky Lynch. Just a simple fact is, Leia had a never say die attitude. She always fought for what she believed in, and she was just always an ass kicker. And that is exactly what the man Becky Lynch is. Same thing with Britt Baker. Britt Baker kind of was in the beginning like the first woman you saw in AEW, the first woman you see in Star Wars, Princess Leia. And then everybody can't believe Miss Elizabeth was just elegant. And if you look at this picture of Leia right here, before she really got into the fight, knee deep in the shit, she was just elegant. She was innocent looking, just like Miss Elizabeth. But Miss Elizabeth had a fighting side to her. If we remember, she removed the skirt, distracted the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. He forgot about his huge mansion in the Bahamas to get rolled up and pinned by Randy Macho Man Savage. And then last but not least, Michelle McCool, just for the simple fact is nobody, and I do mean nobody, would expected Michelle McCool to marry the Undertaker of all people backstage. Nobody expected Princess Leia to go off the Han Solo because everybody thought Princess Leia was going to end up with Luke Skywalker whenever she kissed her own brother, you thick, twisted bitch. Okay, I'm done.
So, and last night on All Access, I want to point out something Britt Baker said, which I really liked. She said that
it's rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. Thank you, Lady Devil.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Whenever Britt said, when she admitted her first year in AEW was really tough for her to find her spot, find her place, and get over. And she had to work at it and really so she earned that spot. I mean, it's like Leia, when I think of Leia, I think of the demure, royalty, but then she's also a badass when you start to get to see her badass side.
Mhm.
And yes, someone will be in the Jabba Hutt Leia outfit on my LTD show later on tonight.
Sweet Jesus.
So Becky, I could see Michelle.
Poor Wheels.
Charlotte was the first person I thought of, but as this character, but I can't put her in the demure royalty like the old Leia. So comparison straight, even though she never really showed badass completely as much as Leia did, it's Miss Elizabeth. That's who I compare. Like you said, that picture really makes me think that's my Leia is Miss Elizabeth. I bet you I know who CJ would pick. As Princess Leia. Come on, you're taking Brit.
Alexa Bliss.
She's not even on there.
Oh no, that's Charlotte.
That's Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte.
We got a Tori Wilson vote. I never vote against Tori Wilson. I would definitely take Tori in any way, shape, or form.
I drink her dirty bathwater. All right.
So now we're gonna get away with the obvious one. He's not on the list, so don't give me shit. You can pick him if you want. Vader. He's not on our list. Vader as Darth Vader, no. But here's our.
Bodie picked Vader to be Vader. Like he just thought it was funny.
Will.
Yeah, he did that when we were doing the list. He actually helped me with the list a little bit.
You first on this one because I need to explain my Luke one whenever we get to Luke last.
Okay, so as I'm looking at this thing, I really want to go with first and foremost, you got to go with Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant was kind of like Anakin Skywalker. He started off, people loved him. He was a big help. He was wherever he went, everybody was talking. Look how the galaxy was with Anakin Skywalker, and then in the end. He got twisted by the dark side. He got twisted by the evil, which was Bobby the Brain Heenan, and turning on his own best friend, ripping the shirt and cross from his chest was Hulk Hogan. I'll never forget that as a little kid, man, watching that chain just cut him, and he's just bleeding there holding his shirt in like just complete disbelief that his best friend of all time just challenged him to a match at WrestleMania.
Good point. I like that one. So who's the one you pick overall? Who's your Darth?
Oh my God. I hate that. I'm going to go with The Undertaker just for the simple fact that Taker is so unstoppable. And that's how Vader was in the movies. Nobody thought he could be stopped. Nobody thought, oh my God. I mean, he's the baddest dude in the galaxy. Just like Undertaker was the baddest dude for a while in Mania, And no, we're not making Brock Lesnar Luke, I swear. Okay, go ahead.
So, like, I see Roman because of how he was kind of that guy who sat back and gave the orders and stuff like that, the ruler, the head of the table, so to speak. Flair, the dirtiest player in the game.
Yep.
When he was a bad guy, he was the ultimate bad guy. I love how you spun Andre. That was beautiful, and I agree. Him, Anakin into Darth as his whole story.
You could say the same thing about Hogan, too.
Yeah.
Hollywood Hogan, excuse me.
True. Sid Vicious was very mean and angry, but he never really. I'd say he's probably the least one on here.
Yeah, but his broken leg kind of could add Vader's hand at the end there. Okay, I'm done.
And MJF's just the biggest prick out there, so people love to hate him right now, and that's Darth Vader. CJ, who's your Darth Vader?
MJF.
Yeah. you gotta love to hate him. Now let me get my spin on it. Here you'll see MJF. Also, and people are going to be like, why? MJF as Luke Skywalker. Let me explain.
Go ahead, please.
Luke Skywalker, if you watch the first 3 movies, mainly the first 2, he was a whiny little bitch kid, always complaining about stuff. Go watch. There's even a meme where they talk about how much he was whiny when he was younger before he became fully full of the Force and everything. MJF is still in that stage. I think eventually MJF becomes the biggest face in wrestling because he's funny. When he's going to have a bad guy run for a long time, but eventually he's likable too. He's funny. So if he goes full face, which some people are saying that he should do now. So MJF is only the baby, the young Luke, and eventually he'll be a huge face in wrestling.
Man, Chuck has a great idea. Chuck, I love Chuck's
Marco Stunt as Joe.
That's even perfect. But I was going to say the Vader thing, like with Taker. But I like, Riley Wolf. I convinced him.
Andre, yeah.
But Vader was turned good, though, again. So I kind of like, and Andre in the beginning, I think, was a bad guy. Then he went good. Then he went bad again. And then, You could take it to so many levels. Sorry.
The Vader ultimate bad guy,
Yeah.
Luke ultimate good guy is where you go with it. You
Yeah.
got Hogan. I think Bryan Danielson's a really good Luke.
Yes, I do too. And the
I think-
simple fact is, like, he was whiny in the beginning.
Yes.
That's why I picked Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him at this day and age. But the simple fact is, he was kind of whiny in the beginning. But if you think about it, Luke did the same thing. Luke went against the machine. He rallied everybody for his side, and all I can think about is Daniel Bryan when they took over Monday Night Raw, when he had that persona going against the corporate thing. Yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, and I apologize now, everybody. But still, the simple fact is, Daniel Bryan did that. He went against the machine, and in the beginning, it was NXT. He got fired from NXT. He got fired from WWE for putting, I think, Justin Roberts on a choke or something, and then they brought him back. Not Hulk Hogan. John Cena rallied to get him back in there, and then boom, it just blew up from there. And I really think, like, he has that good Luke Skywalker story behind him when it comes to his WWE run.
Do some great shit in the chat. Look at this. Roman is Job and Paul Heyman's the little rat thing.
Oh, Salacious Crumb, yes.
Salacious Crumb. Cody Starr is
Crumb.
entitled son of someone important only to grow into the ultimate good guy.
That's a good one.
I think Luke, Sting. Pre-Crow, yes. I can follow.
That. Yeah,
Austin Theory could be a possible Luke type of character.
Theory is what the stormtroopers killed.
Oh, jeez.
That means he can't aim. Let's call his
That's good.
ex-girlfriend. No, I'm joking.
Surfer Sting as Luke, the ultimate good guy. I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah.
Same thing with a lot of people. So if you could pick one, Doc, who's your Luke?
Oh my God. I'm gonna go with either. I have to say a tie here. I have to say a tie. I'm gonna go.
This is a tough one.
I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson, especially with the whole thing with the story. But I'm gonna have to go with Cena because everybody just absolutely loves Cena, and they still love Cena today. Same thing with Luke. Luke pulled some shit in The Last Jedi, and everybody.
It's hard for Luke to do this though without a hand, though, right?
Actually, they would probably fly off because he has the mechanical one. All right.
CJ, do you have a Luke?
I'm gonna think outside of the box. Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
He could. Hey, before his career's over, he could very well be. I dig it. I think I had to give my reason for MJF because he sticks out like a sore thumb in this one with all the good guys. But I figured it'd be fun just to try to compare wrestling because it goes all the way back to the 80s when Star Wars started and get your great stuff from the chat here tonight. You guys are awesome. We got a couple new subscribers. You guys are amazing. I appreciate that. We're now at 195.
Oh, five mo.
Big shout out to the new subscribers. That's 3 while we are live, and that's huge. That is
Thank
huge.
you.
We appreciate that big time. We're gonna end it. We got right about the hour. We're gonna head out with our final thoughts, and I got more work to do with you guys here in a bit. So we'll be right back. We didn't touch base a lot on it, but people did bring it up in the chat for CJ to get better. And we talked a lot about your matches from last week, so we don't have to really get into it, but definitely get better. Broken foots are not fun. So
Not a broken foot, but
heel.
A broken heel in 4 places. So obviously I am the ultimate heel. And everybody else can.
You got a lot of
off.
support, dude. I think you
I
got
know. I appreciate
you
it.
got a ton of support, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
I mean, it sucks. It is what it is. I was doing something that I've done several hundreds of times, and I think it was a way of my body reminding me that I'm no longer 21. So, there's nobody to blame about this injury but myself, kind of, really. So, I mean, I will still say, though, that Preston Everest, and to steal something from The Miz, I saw the footage, bud, and you were wearing a cup. That must mean you have tinier balls than The Miz. So, I mean, I am hoping that I could continue this story. I don't want to say that I'm not going to, but I also don't want to say that I am going to. I'm scheduled to see the orthopedic surgeon on Tuesday, and I will be scheduling surgery. They have to put some screws and plates or whatever, I guess, in my foot. So typical recovery from my understanding is that the first 4 weeks after surgery will be non-weight bearing, and then week 5 I will be able to put 25% weight back on my heel, week 6 50%, week 7 75%, week 8 100%. So I mean, I am very happy with how my body has healed from past injuries, and mark my words here, I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to push the limits because I am going to be 42, but I promise you, if I'm not walking in a walking boot fairly normal within 4 weeks, I'll be very surprised.
CJ, you've conquered bigger demons already.
Oh my God, yeah, this is nothing. It's just very painful, and with me being in recovery, I don't take pain medication, so it's brutal. I like I said, I handle pain very well, which right now is a good thing, but sometimes it can also be a bad thing. This happened at the beginning of the match, and Doc could attest to this. I finished the match.
His nails down here.
Because
That's
what I fucking do, bud.
Yeah.
So,
props to you, my man.
Yeah.
You got people that barely know you out here supporting you 110%, bro.
I appreciate it all. I appreciate all you guys. I really do. Because it's been a mental struggle. I'm not going to lie. It's depressing. But I'm going to spin a negative into a positive, and I can make excuses on things that it could have been done differently or how it could have been prevented. But honestly, fuck that. I'm not making excuses. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. At the end of the day, CJ, well, you need to know that. I joke around with him, but love the dude to death, and I wish you the best, quick recovery.
Appreciate you guys.
Like a brother to me, man.
And support indie wrestling.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah, I love you guys. I love all you guys. But support indie wrestling. A lot of good shit coming up. And I'm done. I'm going to stick around, but I do have some work shit to handle. So
everyone's behind you, bro. Everyone's behind you. That's good shit. Doc, at the end of the day, Yoda.
At the end of the day, enjoy pro wrestling, and at the end of the day,
there is no try.
All right.
Hey, people out there, I had a blast today. It was a little fun show. I appreciate each and every one of you. And at the end of the day, Blaze says bye. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Peace. We'll see you next week with more from the side. We out of here. Maybe. We don't have Ray here to say a bunch of dumb shit at the end.
Oh, yeah.
We miss you, Ray.
Here. I am at a butt-sniffing gallery.
I'm going to do it.
No.
I'm going to press the button.
Don't press it.
Thanks, guys. See you in the stream.
Hand jobs I give, 25 cents I charge.
Oh, yeah. Just for you, CJ. We got to end with something for you, bro.
Can I get a